All right, y'all. You know what's up today. We got to talk about Diddy. I'm sure you have already heard that 3 of his homes were raided just yesterday. I believe his home in Los Angeles, his home in Miami. We didn't see the raid in New York, but allegedly that was also raided, his home there. And now they're even saying that some of his other homes, like in Chicago, may also end up being raided as well. So this is some serious stuff regarding Diddy. But before I start, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. The likes and the comments can definitely go a long way. So thank you so much for tuning in. So the raid that happened with Diddy, it involved the Homeland Security. They were the ones that went in, and it was a lot of people out there. I mean, it looked like they brought a whole army out to raid all of Diddy's homes, but a lot of that probably has to do with the fact that his homes are so big. So they needed a lot of people to raid such a home. So that's probably what that was about. Now, they did this on behalf of the Southern District of New York, which is a district court, one of 94 district courts in the U.S. It's actually one of the most prestigious district courts. So it's a federal court. So yeah, they are the ones that requested this raid. And so this is pretty serious because, you know, when the feds come, they're pretty meticulous when it comes to their investigations. You know, this isn't no offense to local police, but this isn't a local thing. This is a Fed thing, and it's major. And for them to be able to secure a search warrant like they did and have to present that, I'm sure, to a judge, they probably had something that the judge for sure felt that they could possibly find at one of these homes. So you have to look at it that way, that this is probably pretty serious. Now, having said that, a lot of media outlets have been assuming that this raid has to do with the civil case that or quite a few of the civil cases that Diddy is facing, particularly one that he settled really quickly with Cassie. And then we have Little Rod, who's brought on a complaint. And then there's a Jane Doe that's brought on one, and quite a few, maybe a few others. And Diddy, just so I have to say this, he has maintained his innocence when it comes to those cases. But because of that, a lot of people are assuming that this raid is related to those particular cases. And those cases involved human trafficking or trafficking. You know, we can't say certain words on all these various platforms. But so trafficking, human trafficking, maybe even the use of some narcotics, some of that was spoken about. And then even some weapons were spoken about. So a lot of people feel that maybe this raid had a lot to do with the Homeland Security in the Southern District of New York really trying to pinpoint where these type of items or any type of evidence supporting that may be. But in terms of what we know, in terms of what they have actually written, they just said they have an ongoing investigation, and we have no idea what that investigation entails. But, you know, we can take our guesses because obviously Diddy has been in the news a lot regarding alleged trafficking and the use, again, of certain narcotics. So, you know, that's just something that I guess most media outlets, and I think even some sources just are assuming is what's happening here. And then the next question becomes, but what are they actually looking for? You know, because it was quite a few of them. They hit all these different homes. Now, I've been listening to quite a few pundits, and some of them feel like they were probably looking for some computers, phones. Maybe they even wanted to kind of map out some of these homes just to kind of see maybe where potential crime scenes were. So they, you know, they needed pictures, etc. But definitely with the phones and the computers, they may be trying to find certain files or maybe even some videos. But time will tell because, again, the government works really meticulously. They work really carefully. So we may not really know fully what they find or what they were looking for quite a while. But I have been reading that they allegedly have interviewed at least 4 Jane Does and 1 John Doe. So maybe, again, with these raids and these searches, maybe they're trying to corroborate whatever these potential witnesses had to say. So again, time will tell though. Now, one question that does remain, and again, Diddy has maintained his innocence, but one question does remain, like, did he know that these raids were coming? Like, was he tipped off? Because Diddy was not seen at any of his homes. In fact, it was reported that he had actually taken flight, and I know some reports said that he was fleeing. It's not sure if he was fleeing, but he definitely was apparently out of town, and allegedly they found him in Antigua, and they may have even questioned him there and detained him there, and who knows, maybe took his phone, because they're really trying to obviously get some type of evidence. But yeah, he was not at his home. Now, his children, they were at home. They were at the LA home, and you actually saw them detained. But let me make a note on this. I know some people were upset to see them in handcuffs, and some people were like, well, why were they arrested? I don't think they were arrested. I think that's just simple protocol. When they do these raids, they have to pretty much restrain whoever was in that home, because they don't want any issue while they're doing their searches. They don't want, I guess, anyone to be in danger, from the officers to even the residents of those homes. So they needed to pretty much detain anybody that was probably in that house. And I know it does look alarming, though, to see anybody in handcuffs. It's never a good thing to see. And I feel bad for his kids, because particularly his kids with Kim Porter, because they lost their mother a few years ago, and now they have to deal with their father and his legal issues that who knows where this could lead him. And so, it probably has to be pretty rough for them. And then I know some of them really want to have their own careers, particularly in the entertainment industry. So you don't know how this particular situation will affect that as well. So I do feel bad for Diddy's children. But back to whether he knew about this, again, it's hard to say, because the government does tend to do these type of raids as a surprise. So he may not have known they were coming, at least at that time. Now, he may have been tipped off, however, that a potential criminal case could emerge down the line. In fact, some people are speculating that that is actually why he hired Sean Hawley, who's a known criminal attorney. And some of you may remember Sean Hawley. She used to work with Johnny Cochran. In fact, she was a part of the O.J. Simpson case, and she currently represents Diddy. So maybe he's prepping for a serious criminal case. Again, time will tell. But all of this also, again, just reminds me about how difficult fame is and what it all means. In fact, I remember looking at an interview with Mark Manson. He's the author that wrote the book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a F. And he spoke about how you really don't want to be famous. In fact, he likened it to a bell curve. He says, just as you're going up that bell curve, it's fun. And then when you reach that peak, it's great. It's all gravy. And then it's that other side of fame that is just very difficult. You're constantly scrutinized. You're isolated. You have maybe certain characters around you that may affect you and your judgment on things. Now, I'm not making any excuses for Diddy, but it's just what's happening with Diddy is just a reminder that, I don't know, like just being famous or being in the entertainment industry, it can kind of seem like a scary place. In fact, there's a documentary out right now, I believe on HBO Max, called Quiet on the Set. And you see what a lot of these kid stars had to deal with, all these famous kid stars that people loved on Nickelodeon, and the dark stuff they dealt with behind the scenes. So fame is just a funny thing. And I don't know if it's something that you really, truly want. Like, do you really want to be in this world? Because I always say this, when I was growing up, the top 3 performers of my era growing up was Michael Jackson, Prince, and Whitney Houston. And when I look out today, all 3 of them have passed away. And they all passed away at fairly young ages. I mean, Whitney Houston was in her late 40s. Michael Jackson was just, 51 or almost turning 51. Prince was just becoming, I think, 60 years old. So they were all kind of fairly young to have passed away as they did. And they all died alone. They all died as a result of some type of substance. And it just, again, it makes you think about what happens when people become famous. And when it comes to Diddy, again, he maintains his innocence. But if this turns out to be true, Again, if this turns out to be true, the question is, what does fame do to one's judgment? Is it just a power hungry thing? Is it a thing of you just have so much access, you just feel like you're untouchable, you can just do anything? Or is it just this is someone's character? This is just who they were, and fame simply enhances that because you have all the money in the world and you have all these people around you who want to please you. But I don't know. We will see what happens with this Diddy investigation, assuming he is the focus of this investigation. Because look, the feds, they're kind of tight-lipped. They try to keep as much as close to the vest as possible for their own reasons, but it's probably safe to assume that this investigation involves Diddy. But we will see where this leads. But leave your comments below and let me know your thoughts on this. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time. Peace.